We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about game modes. I have a few different screenshots and images that I want to show you guys. The first one that I will start off with is from a news article. This news article is about Street Fighter 6, but I think it relates perfectly to Tekken 8. It says, one killer Street Fighter 6 feature never before seen in the franchise. The picture they have along with this says ranked match, casual match, killer feature with a question mark. When you get past all of the reading and all of the explanation these articles do, the killer feature they are suggesting is a test server. Now, for those of you who don't know what is a test server, I'll tell you. The test server is a place where new updates, features, and mechanics are tested before release. Sometimes these servers are in a closed testing mode, meaning that only developers and testers can access them. Now, I participated in some test servers in the past. Bleeding Edge is the most recent. That game came out like a year and a half ago. I participated in that test server for like 6 months before the game actually even came out. I gave feedback, they changed some things, and then eventually the game came out. Sadly, the game didn't catch on. It died off like 6 months later, but I was a part of that test server. Something else that comes to mind, another example, Smite. I play a whole lot of Smite. You guys see the footage all the time. Some people don't like it, but it's fine. In Smite, before they introduce a new god, a new mechanic, a new season, what they do is all of the changes they want to make, they first introduce it into a test server. You can access and play that test server usually like a month before the actual season comes out. For example, the new season came out in February. The test server was open in like January. Now, the twist that comes with the test server is there's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of glitches, and sometimes, let's say, a new god or a new item will be super overpowered. And the point of a test server is to identify that before it actually makes it to the live server. Now, the reason why this news article is saying that Street Fighter should do it and I'm saying Tekken should do it is because the DLC. Two prime examples, Leroy Smith and Fakamram. When Leroy Smith was first released like 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, he was the strongest Tekken character ever created. A lot of people say they intentionally did that, pay to win. And when it comes to Fakamram, yes, he also was a very powerful character on release too. But one of the main things that really stood out about Fakamram was his hurt box. A lot of abilities went through him, passed through his legs, passed through his arms. He just was so difficult to hit. A test server would have caught both of those things. If they introduced a test server, soon as Fakamram would have got introduced into the game, they would have saw that his hurt box was a disaster. Boom, patch it. Now, once it actually releases a month later, you don't have people abusing it in ranked. Same for Leroy Smith. Even though they did it on purpose, if there was a test server, we would have been able to see that. You want to have all these people abusing it and climbing to Tekken God Prime overnight, right? This stuff will be stopped in its tracks. So I would agree with this news article. I think a test server is something they should add, even though that would kind of hurt how they release DLC and the hype around that. I think it's important to the competitive integrity of the game. Now let's move on to what other type of game modes we can possibly see. One that I threw out in the past, and this one is just to increase fun. Tekken has been made so competitive and so try-hard. I was thinking of ways they can introduce fun back into the game. One game mode that I think of is Team Battle. Team mode. All the people out there who only played Tekken 7, you guys may not know what team mode or team battle is, but basically what it is, you go up against a opponent. You pick 8 characters, they pick 8 characters. You play, I believe it was 1 round or 2 rounds, but once you lose with that character, your second character comes up. Once that second character gets eliminated, your third, fourth, fifth, all the way to 8, and you kind of can learn multiple characters through that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Team Battle was ever online. I think Team Battle was only an offline co-op mode you can play with computers or a friend sitting next to you. But I think it would be cool if they introduced Team Battle but made it online. You pick 8 characters from the character select screen, and then you go into, the normal loading screen and you search for a match, and someone else has 8 characters already pre-picked and you just fight people. I think that would be really cool, because I know a lot of people, especially me, I complain about not being able to find a match. You spend more time searching for a match than actually playing in matches, than playing the game. And I think a team battle online would alleviate some of that. Those battles lasted a very long time against computers and friends. So I think online that would be really cool, and that would keep people engaged. That would encourage people to buy DLC, because they can play multiple DLC characters in one sitting. You can have a full team: Leroy, Fakuran, Kurimitsu, Lita, Zafina, Yoshimitsu, Dragunov, right? You can have a full team stacked with your favorite characters. That would also incentivize people to buy the DLC. Now, hopefully a tutorial mode can also achieve that. Hopefully they can introduce some sort of tutorial. I know they've gotten so much flack over the bad practice features, the bad or no tutorial at all, to where I think in Tekken 8 we should see some kind of better practice mode and also better tutorial mode as well. So maybe that can alleviate the problems of people just throwing out launcher after launcher after launcher, to encourage people to grow as a player, to stop focusing on the hell sweeps, snake edges, and orbitals, but focus on the smaller aspects that get overlooked. Now, the next game mode that I want to talk about, and what I am most interested in, is of course Tekken Force. Now, I'm so interested in Tekken Force that I'm actually planning on reinstalling Tekken 6, and I'm going to play the campaign and all that stuff. There's just so much potential in that as well. That also was only something you either experience with computers yourself, or you can have a friend play with you. But I think making that also a co-op 4-player, right? You go online, you search, you get matched up with 3 other people, a group of 4, and you just run around clearing dungeons. I think that would be really, really cool to see. Imagine May Mansui, Rip, K Swiss, Tasty Steve, all 4 of them join each other's game and they just beat dungeons. At the end of the Mishima complex, there's Heihachi. At the end of the G Corp level, there's Kazuya, right? You can make all of these different levels. If it's truly successful, they could do one for the Mishima Zaibatsu, they could do one for G Corp, they could do one for the Maji clan. We can get a look at their base, what that looks like. They could do so many different ones. Even Lita, the Polish prime minister, imagine if she had her very own stage. The possibilities is endless, but I think people would need to play it for them to sink that much resources into it. One way I think they can do that is, of course, making it online so people can play together. And I think streamers like May Mansui and Tasty Steve and all of them, they will sell it just by playing. I think the potential in that is endless. Out of everything that I mentioned so far in this video, the ones that I think is the most likely is, of course, I think online team battle, a tutorial, practice mode. I'm praying Tekken Force, but I don't really know about that. It really depends on if they want to sink the resources into it. And then also a test server is something that I'm praying for, so we don't have any more busted character shenanigans like Leroy or Fakuran. One final thing that I want to talk about in this video, I have a really long comment from Last Hybrid, my wish list for Tekken 8. The characters they have here: Jinpachi, Heihachi, Kazuya, Jun Jin, Devil Jin. They have Michelle in there. Here they have new Hydro character, Devil form / out to kill Jin or Kazuya, preferably a Sindel-like character, Immortal. I think this would be a pretty cool idea too. A lot of people want to see more of the Hydro clan. The Hydro clan is basically Kazumi's people, her clan. Now, we only seen her, but you have to imagine there's many others just like her. There's many others who also possesses the devil gene, unless she was the last of a dying breed, like the Avatar, the last Airbender. She's Kazumi, the last devil gene holder, or you know what I mean? Like there has to be more out there, and I think that would be cool to see maybe a Haijo assassin or a Haijo warrior go after them. Not only did Kazumi die, that's one of their own people, but now you have two people who's abusing their power, the devil gene, for their own benefit. I think that would be cool if they sent someone out to get them. If we scroll down, modes, this person lists out the modes. History mode, play through important canon fights. I think this would be pretty cool, and I wish we can get, the reason why I talk about Jun Kazama and also Ogre is because we never got to see that fight. That fight literally defined the whole Tekken genre. If Ogre didn't show up and start bodying people, Jun Kazama would have never disappeared. Everything would be different. So I would like to see that in a flashback in Tekken 8. If something, I would love to see that. But this person lists out a bunch of different games. Tekken, pre-Tekken 1, Heihachi versus Jin, Kid Kazuya versus Kid Lee, Kazuya versus Paul, draw match. That's something that we've never seen either. It was told to us that Paul and Kazuya has fought into a draw. One, would like to see a rematch so we can see who now is better. So much time has passed. Who's better now? But two, I would like to see the original match as well. And there's some other interesting things in here. Ogre versus Beck, Ogre versus King, Ogre versus June, Kid Jin versus Ogre. Like there's a bunch of stuff listed in here. Let's continue down to story mode. So this person has a lot more stuff here listed out. I won't go through and read all of this because I want this video to really be focused on game modes, but I do appreciate this comment being in there. Actually, I will like it. I do appreciate this comment being in there, and I did want to mention it because it really relates to what I'm saying in this video now. What I also did was I went to the wiki and I looked at the past game modes we got in past Tekken games. A through Z, you can see all the different type of game modes we have, from arcade to big head mode to boost mode, combat tuning, fight lab, devil within, ghost battle, mushroom battle, that sounds crazy, practice mode, scenario campaign, sky mode, story mode, survival mode. I don't even think Tekken has survival mode. Tekken 7 really lacks in everything. Team Battle, Tekken Bowl, Tekken Ball, Tekken Dojo, Time Attack, Versus Mode, and then Wire Frame Mode. That one sounds crazy. That sounds like something made in 1997. But the reason why I went through all these is because there's a lot of things in here, some good, some outdated, but I would like to see them try something. Don't do any Tekken bowling or Tekken tennis. Give us something that we can play online with friends, with each other, make new friends. The goal for them should be to get people hyped and having and overall enhance the experience. I feel like in Tekken 7 that was kind of lost due to budget, and I'm hoping they see the community's outcry for these things and they put a focus on achieving it. But that's it for this video. I just want to go through and list out some things that I want, the community wants, news article wants, and just talk about game modes because from time to time I think it's important to see what's happening in all aspects. But that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.